What's going on, Rooftop Nation? You know, I had someone ask me a question the other day is, Scott, why do you always sit in front of the fire when you do these vlogs? The way the smoke's hitting me right now and the way that my boy Wes set this fire up, I don't know the answer to that. I know that I'm dying right here. Wes and I made a decision to bring the fire pit into our vlogs years ago because both of us understand the importance and the significance of fire as it pertains to human connection, fire as it pertains to storytelling. I grew up as a child of Appalachia. I grew up sitting around the fire with my grandfather, Howard Mann, and my dad and my cousins, and my grandfather telling stories about growing up in the mountains and hunting bear and all of the adventures that he had in the Smokies. And then when I got in Special Forces, I found myself sitting around a fire in rural Colombia with local villagers, sitting up in the highlands of Paraguay with farmers around a fire telling stories. And even thousands of miles away in a different culture, with a different religion, with a different language in Southwest Asia, rural Afghanistan, yep, you guessed it, sitting around a fire telling stories of family and faith and farming. And, you know, it wasn't lost on me that in every element of deep connection that was happening, where gaps were transcended and bridges were built, fire was always there. And so, like, instinctively, I've always known that fire is important. And that's why Wes and Jamie and Caitlin and all of us at Rooftop, we integrate fire into everything that we do. In fact, when we do our Rooftop Leadership Live events, when we bring rooftop leaders from all over the country together, one of the most popular things that we do, and people come from, God, thousands of miles to do it, is the fire pit story exchange that we always do on the second night. And we work on our stories all day long, and then at night, we break into groups with rooftop coaches, and you sit around a fire pit just like this, about 8 to 10 people, and every person goes around the horn and tells their story for about 5-7 minutes. And it is amazing. Like, the whole group transforms. The next day when we come back in, it lasts till like 11:30 or midnight, everybody's different. Everybody is connected on a much more visceral level. You can feel it, it's palpable. What exactly is happening there? Why is that? Why is fire such a powerful component in these modern times that we live, and why the hell should you even care, right? Some of you are watching this in Manhattan, some of you are watching this in other urban areas. Like, who cares? Great, fires are wonderful, we can roast marshmallows and sing Kumbaya. No, there's a lot more to it than that, and rooftop leaders understand that. So let me kind of break it down for you. First of all, there is a primal connection that happens around fire. In fact, there's an article that we're gonna link to this vlog that shows that researchers at the University of Alabama have proven that staring into a fire will cause your blood pressure to go down, and it also calms the nervous system and increases social connection. What the hell is that? Well, let's go deeper. If you walk it back 70,000 years ago, that's when we think storytelling first started to come into its own, with the Toba volcano that took the human population down below 10,000 people. And that's where we believe story animals, Homo sapiens, became Homo narrans, the story animal. And storytelling really started to come into its own as a matter of survival. Oral storytelling that one person shared with another person, their struggle, how they overcame it. Autobiographical listening started to happen. And where did all this occur? Around the warmth and security of the fire, where food was cooked, as stated in Catching Fire, how this changed everything about us as a species. Not only were we able to eat cooked food and stay warm and secure, but we were able to use a psychotechnical tool of storytelling that allowed us to take events of the day and literally weave them into a narrative where everyone around the fire experienced it as if they lived it. Empathetic listening is occurring. Narrative coupling is occurring. People are swaying to and fro in a trance-like state, and they are experiencing autobiographical listening, narrative transportation. The lessons are engaging the long-term memory. They're feeling an emotional connection to the storyteller, an emotional connection to each other, critical for survival. They're starting to find meaning in the story that's being told. We're meaning-seeking creatures. and they're coupled and connected, and they're remembering it for a long time. These are all the necessary components of action in modern times, are they not? So where I'm going with this is that fire and story go together. They've been together since storytelling happened and since fires were first created. And so I believe the smart leader, the rooftop leader, is the one who integrates fire wherever possible into your leadership. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but think about this for a second. What if, as a tool for re-entry, what if, as a tool for re-emergence, we used fire pits as a way to reconnect with each other? I can tell you, I'm going to be working with a couple of Fortune 500 banks. That is exactly what we're doing. It's already on the books. After Labor Day, I'm flying up to DC. I'm flying up to New York. We're going to get off grid a little bit. We're going to build a fire, and we're going to circle up, and we're going to share stories around what's happened in COVID. We're going to reconnect around fire and story. And as a result of that, I can tell you right now, the outcome is predictable. Right? People are going to be more connected. Their blood pressure is going to come down. They're going to be more calm. They're going to have a better sense of themselves, a better sense of each other. A lot of the emotional temperature is going to come down. The divisions and polarization that was there is going to dissipate. How would you like to go into the workplace? That's how I want to go into the workplace, and I plan on using fire as a part of that. And I hope that you will too. There's ways to do it. You can use fireplaces in the wintertime, fire pits in the summertime. You're really limited by your imagination. And even in a pinch, in a conference room, push the damn tables out of the way and circle up the chairs and watch what happens in the narrative exchange. Listen, as we reemerge and reconnect coming out of this long, persistent crisis, we need to really think about how we move reluctant people back into play, how we move them back into the arena. We've got the greatest turnover in human capital probably in modern history as a result of COVID. Bosses are struggling, businesses are struggling. How we reconnect and the way we do it along primal lines could make all the difference in how we reemerge. Give us some thought. Thanks for what you do, and I'll see you on the rooftop.